Hi friends, welcome to another monthly favorites. We are covering September, and if it's your first time watching any of my videos, meeting me, hi, I love autumn, and we are heading into my favorite season, the Ber months as they are called. And if you don't know, I'm also an online coach who specializes in habit modification, and something I wanted to touch on where what I see happening is that people are anticipating winter depression, the shorter days, not as much sunlight throughout the day. We're gonna be fine. And I think one way to mitigate the shorter days is to ensure that your lighting exposure is on point. And one of my favorite ways to ensure great lighting for my space when it becomes darker outside, but you still have work to do inside, but the overhead light is too bright, the device brightness is too high, is to use Christmas lights. You heard that correctly. I've been using Christmas lights for the last few years in helping to provide the right amount of light to stay productive towards the end of your day, but not interfere with how successfully you can fall asleep, because the high lux levels usually found in your bathroom lights, in overhead lights, far too bright at a certain time of day when the sun begins to set. But the Christmas lights, especially the soft white yellow ones, not the crystal bright blue ones, don't get those, or at least get the multicolored ones if you don't have a choice between the two. It's going to emit a softer glow where not completely making you fall asleep, but it's not going to interfere with your winding down routine either. So that is my little tip for September and going forward as we enter the autumn and yes, winter season. But let me also start with lifestyle. There were a few items this month that I just fell head over heels for. And when it comes to clothes, I don't spend much money on clothes, not anymore, because my lifestyle is kind of set. I find myself doing limited activities, going to the gym, helping my clients, filming YouTube videos. I rarely find myself out and about. If anything, I'll go out to dinner with Bae, or I'll attend an origami workshop with one of my friends, but that's about it. So the clothes, the wardrobe department hasn't received much attention, and that's fine because I take on a more practical approach when it comes to clothes. I try to find items that are functional for my lifestyle, sweat wicking, easy to wear, comfortable, athleisure, right? The materials that could stretch and move with you but still look chic, you know what I mean? And I'll start with this aloe quarter, I think they call it the ILNP Zip Pullover. When I first bought this, I was unsure. I thought it would have ended up being an impulsive buy that I would regret down the road. Not so. And the reasoning is because I'm in the Northeast, and when transitioning from August to September, we might encounter cooler days that we have. But there are some days that are quite humid, but there's a breeze, but it's breezy enough that you rather wear something over a tank or short sleeve. But you have to be careful, because if it's too warm, if it's too thick and fleecy, then you get hot when you start moving around. But then it's drizzly. It's not raining completely, but it's also not misty. It's right in the middle, and you're left to wonder, well, what am I gonna wear? And you're like, Alicia, just wear a jacket. Jackets are cool. Sometimes I feel that they are designs out there that are a little too heavy. I want something lighter, okay, in a nutshell. And this is what the aloe pullover delivers, because it is made out of a crinkled nylon fabric that is not waterproof, it's water resistant, but it's lightweight and it doesn't feel heavy when I wear it. And during those few days where it was like in the mid 60s, but the humidity was at 82%, it was drizzly, and I'm like, you know how those conditions can be. You're like, it's too light of a rain to open an umbrella, but it's also still too warm to wear something a little more hardcore. So this is what the pullover does for me. This is the role it plays in ensuring that I'm a little warm but not too much, and it helps me stay kind of dry in these drizzly conditions, because I'll usually just wear a cap and I'm good to go. I don't need to open an umbrella, and I just love how it looks, especially with my joggers here. It's easy to remove and to put on and easy to pack away if you are unsure of the weather conditions for where you are traveling to. But this is a nice layer to have, right? If you wanted more warmth, you can just wear maybe a long sleeve underneath it or whatnot. Because of the lean mass I have put on my frame for the last few years, I can develop some body heat just by walking around. And that's why when choosing the outerwear before I head out, I purposefully underdress, because I know the way I'm feeling initially when I step out will change in a few minutes once I get moving and grooving. And this is what the Aloe pullover does for me. It's, again, the perfect, first of all, I just love the cropped design, the bungee cords at the waist, you can cinch them, the length of the sleeves. This is a size small, by the way, and the sleeves fall around mid-hand for me. I like the pop-up collar, but again, it's a crinkly nylon, so it's not super stiff. It has some flexibility to the fabric. You can have it zipped up or zipped down. I just love the style of it. It's fantastic, and it definitely found its way to a more significant role in my wardrobe. Again, I initially thought it was going to be a meh kind of an item, clothing piece that I wasn't going to wear it as often. No, this pullover has a job. Again, for those oddly humid, drizzly days that are kind of cool, but not kind of cool. And again, it has a sporty athleisure look to it. No matter if you pair it with the joggers that you saw in the photo, or you pair it with jeans, maybe you pair it with shorts, right? You're going on a little fast walk, jog, or run, and you need a little warmth on the top, but the legs are good. There's so many other scenarios I can describe, but I had to share that in this monthly favorites. In addition, when it comes to accessories, I love fanny packs. They're practical, they're easy to access because they're either slung across the chest or wrapped around the waist. And I wanted to upgrade my current fanny. Before, I had my Hi Friends that has done me well for the last few years, but I decided to shop around, and it was tough because I was going back and forth between, don't yell at me, an MZ Wallace Metro Sling, this guy right here, that I would have received a discount for because I do work for Equinox. I teach a class in one of their locations once a week. I am eligible for the employee discount, and there was a week in the beginning of the month where employees can receive a larger discount. So I was making sure the basket was full and ready to go. $265. And the reason why I even consider this style and brand is because of the chain. I like that you can keep it on or detach it. You can kind of choose how you want to wear it. I like the quilted fabric, but I didn't like how it was too flimsy. I wish that it was a little more structured, that it held its shape better. And then I came across this brand called Royln, and I said, oh, I like this as a fanny pack. It's shiny, it's black, it comes in different colors. Far more options on the actual Royln site, but unfortunately Equinox had limited colors. So they had the black, they had the shiny white, they had this nude color that was sold out. Fine, wasn't crazy about it anyway. I opted for the black one, and what was appealing about it and why I bought into Royln is its versatility within the brand, that you can buy separate bag accessories like the chunky chain that I have my eye on, that Saks Fifth Avenue was running a friends and family event sale over the weekend, and there was another Royln bag. It was more of a satchel type of design that came with not only what I call the safety belt strap, because that's what it looks like, that had like a coin purse attached to it, but also came with the chunky chain. And I'm like, ooh, if I could just get the whole thing for 25% off instead of paying full price, $56, by the way, for the chunky chain. That's a lot of money. I initially was going to wait until I think they would have had some type of Black Friday event. I was impatient. I could have waited and not have spent over $100 on this set, but I like the idea of having both styles and how the belts are interchangeable. If I wanted to attach the safety belt with the coin purse on there to my fanny pack, I could also use the chunky chain as like an accessory that it hangs off the fanny pack, or I could hang it off my shoulder. That's what I liked about their designs, that they were interchangeable. And I love this. Listen, you cannot go wrong with black patent faux material. Okay, it looks classic, it goes with everything, it could look sporty, but it could also look a little chic. That's why I wanted the chain. Okay, and it had a lot more structure to it in terms of the body of the bag than the MZ Wallace one did. Another characteristic I like is the chunky zipper is quite smooth to open and close when you're to and fro. You don't have time to be fighting with the zipper mid walking. And also the different size belts that you saw. The shorter belt that comes with the fanny pack, if you decide to buy this, is great for around the waist, or you can opt for the longer belt that you could wear sling style across the chest or just over the shoulder like a regular purse. The one thing is that it has clips and it doesn't have a buckle like my previous fanny pack does. So it's not as easy to take on and off those clips as it would be with a conventional buckle design. And also there is a zipper. Well, you know, let me get it. The zipper here on the back of the bag is another storage section, but when the bag is wrapped around the waist and if it is tightly so it doesn't fall off, it's hard to get in this pocket when the fanny pack is on you. It will be easier to access if it was slung around your chest or around your shoulder like a regular purse, and you could get into this pocket easier. Those are the only negatives that I observed from this fanny. That's called the little Runaway, by the way. Nevertheless, despite those challenges, I think it's a fantastic buy, and I'm happy that I gave this brand a chance. I am completely and utterly in love with the design, with the feel, and how it elevates any outfit I pair with it. And again, I think it's a lot of fun that I have all these other accessory options that I could use on the little Runaway. Buying different color chains, which is excessive. I don't need 5 different color chains, okay, to put on this bag. But nice to know that I have the option to do that, and I still have my eye out for any potential Black Friday events that think Royln will hold on their homepage, on their home website, because I kind of want the matte black one. I think the shiny gunmetal one comes with the second satchel that I ordered from Saks, but the matte black one is a mood. All right, I think that's it for lifestyle, but we'll lightly transition into beauty by first talking about this ILNP nail polish. I think it's called their Campground collection, something like that. And look at me ordering regular old creams. What happened, Alicia? I don't even have polish on for this video because of timing and whatnot, and I just wanted to get on camera and do the thing. But something about these colors just transfixed me. The simplicity, and also they're muted. They're slightly muted, which I am all for. Have to say, ILNP's cream formula is exceptional. I don't know if it's because I haven't tried their cream formula in quite some time, and I think maybe last year or the year prior there was a reformulation. I know there was a rebrand that they changed their logo, but I also thought they had undergone some changes with their cream formula. It is good, and I know Hot Taco's cream formula is goated because that stuff is thick, but ILNP has some nice creams in their collection, and I'll throw some footage here. The first one is Mushroom, this muted taupe that just goes with everything. Chocolate, which is a more muted brown. It's not like a warm brown, which is what I loved about it. Ooh, it's like almost like a grayish brown, but still in the neutral realm. Treetop, which more foresty than sage, but still muted nonetheless. And I think it just looks beautiful on its own. And it's not so green that it looks witchy, which is not a problem because I have an eye on their Coven collection, by the way. But I just liked, again, that desaturated hue of the green, that because of that level of color that they put in this polish, it almost is like a neutral. It's like a green neutral to me. But the color that wins for me out of all 4 is Truffle. Truffle is this dark charcoal that looks black on the first glance, a little bit, but when you see it close up, it has like a smokiness to it that's not completely mid-gray. It has enough depth in there that I think just lovely on its own, as you saw. but easier to polish on the nails than regular black nail polish. I love me some black nails and toes, okay? But black nail polish can be tough. For instance, Cirque Colors Momento Mori. Momentum Mori is one of the best blacks out there. Hollow Takwa thing has a great black as well. But ooh, you better not get that black on the skin, okay? And then removing it is a pain. Truffle is a great polish to fulfill your black nail polish dreams with, but without the hassle. And I had to point that out because my goodness, this color is just lovely. And I do like that it's not completely black, as you saw. It's like a deep charcoal, and because of that, it goes with everything. Even if you wanted to dress it up, depending on what you choose to wear, it could totally ground down something super elegant, but elevate something casual at the same time. Does that make sense? What an amazing collection. And I did pick up a few colors from Mooncat's Fallen collection. I didn't go crazy. I didn't buy the entire thing. I picked up 3. 2 of the magnetics. I picked up Nocturne, which I'm sorry that you can't see the magnetic stripe because I have the wand in my bathroom. Fields of Lavender. And lastly, we have Memento Mori. This is their Memento Mori. Isn't that interesting? Memento Mori, the black nail polish from Cirque Colors. And we have Memento Mori, which is more of like this iridescent. I'm sorry that it's hard to see on camera, the effect. Ooh, maybe you can see it from here. It has like an orange shimmer in there. It got a bunch of stuff in here. Ooh, I can't wait to paint my nails with that. So this will probably be an October favorites. I'm just going to tell you right now. I would like to paint my nails today, but we shall see if that can happen. Now to some makeup, and I have to begin with Suqqu. Suqqu Europe was kind enough to send me 2 collections this month, one being their new brow collection or new brow products for the collection, as well as their Reflect highlighter and 2 additional shades to their Smooth Matte Loose powder line and their winter collection for 2024. Holiday is coming. I think that drops in November. We shall see. Now I have my Benefit brow pencil on one eyebrow and the Suqqu on the other. And the reason I did that is because the Benefit Goof Proof is my top pick for brows, and it has been for a while. But when I tried the Suqqu brow pencil, I was delighted by just the ease of use, the fact that it is a drier pencil than the Benefit one, and I could be a little more sketchy with it. I don't have to be as careful, and the pencil itself is smaller, and I could show you. Here is the Goof Proof pencil, and my goodness, where is the Suqqu one? And here's a Suqqu one. Again, this is the Benefit, and this is the Suqqu. Now, the Benefit line, the brow lineup within the brand, has what they call Precisely My Brow that looks similar to the Suqqu one, but that is a little creamier. And funny, I think because of its more creamy nature, if I get too sketchy, then the brows appear too bold. It doesn't have that same stroke-like effect like the Suqqu brow pencil does. And I think ultimately, well, there are 2 reasons why I officially will say that I do like the Suqqu pencil better than the Benefit. I know it's a tough choice for me to make on camera because I absolutely adore the Goof Proof. I will continue using this pencil until I finish it. But again, the first characteristic that I admire about Suqqu over the Benefit pencil is how softer my brows look, and just the shades themselves. This was supposed to be, I think, was it the sand color? I requested the sand color and the khaki color. The sand color has like almost, it's like a grayish brown tone to it, which I think is like the perfect brow color. It doesn't appear like a literal brown on my skin, and it creates more of like this shadow effect that I love to wear solo without any additional makeup, whereas the Goof Proof pencil is a little more bold, and I think for me calls for a little more makeup. For when I wear the Goof Proof solo and don't apply any other makeup on my face, they just look a little out of place. It's like, oh, those are great brows. Did you finish putting on your makeup? Whereas the Suqqu brow pencil, because of its more softer nature and the fact that I think it does deliver more of those stroke-like finishes that resemble brow hairs, it just looks like my brows but better without having any blush on or even lipstick on, what an exceptional product. And the second reason why I consider this to be better than the Goof Proof is that the pencil itself is interchangeable. You can just purchase the refill. So when this is done, you already have the body of the pencil, which you will have to buy separately, yes. Once you buy this, you don't have to repurchase. It comes with an attached mini spoolie at the other end, and all you need to do when this finishes is buy the replacement in any shade. I think there are 5 in all. It twists on easily, is easy to twist on and off, and it comes with its own cap. And you're done. It's lightweight. Just, I gotta give it to the Suqqu Brow Pencil. I had never thought this day would arrive where I would crown another brow pencil over my beloved Goof Proof. But here we are. In addition, adore their gel. And I did not apply it yet because I wanted you to see the brows by themselves with their respective pencil counterparts. But the brow gel is just glorious because it has that light brown tint to it, but it's lightweight. The texture is not like a heavy gel and super stiff on the hair. It gives the hair structure, but also they remain flexible at the same time. And that light brown, almost see-through brown tint just gives the brows fantastic, not only shape, but a little bit of volume as well. I don't use the coloring brow as much, but if I was feeling fancy, I will place this shade that is lighter than the brow gel on the front where I can create that gradient of color where it's lighter towards the front and then it goes a little deeper as it meets the tail. I think that adds really nice dimension. And the brow powder is fantastic. They already had, I think, 2 colorways in their collection, but this was one that I requested to be sent. One of the newer colorways for the brow powder. This is great if I just wanted a soft brow. If I didn't even want to use the pencil and I just wanted to kind of wing through it with a light brush. But definitely out of the 4, I use the brow pencil the most, the brow gel second, the coloring brow third, and the brow powder last. Not that this sucks, but because of how I like my brows to look and because I already have a brows to begin with, I think this, like I had said originally in my review video, I think this is more appropriate for someone that has very little brow hair on their face and they need that softer delivery of powder just to create some shape and dimension, and then they could go in with the other products to refine the look. Now these powders, woo, do they pack a punch. 030 I would use to apply all over my complexion to give it a little warmth, and 040 is what I would use for a little bit of that reddish bronzing moment. But today I didn't apply any powder because it does golden me up significantly, so I have to be careful with the placement and how much I apply. But being a matte powder, it finely milled, looks seamless on the skin, does not appear like a powder whatsoever, and the blend is beyond smooth. And this Reflect highlighter, ooh, I still have my eye on Sakura Quartz, but look at that shine. It has a glassy sheen to it, beautifully smooth on the skin, especially here if you undergo texture on the cheekbones. This will not enhance it. It will just appear shinier on that region of your face. Since we're talking about cheeks, I did buy all of the Hourglass palettes, and I know that was an excessive purchase, but I wanted to do it just to gain some momentum for my channel since it has been dipping as of late. But another reason why is because this is the first year in a few years where Hourglass showcased more than 2 new shades in one palette. I think they only housed 1 existing shade in the lineup in each palette, and all of the other shades for all 3 were new. And I have the Evil Eye palette on. I applied the bronzer as well as the blush shades higher here on purpose, and I did that one day just for giggles, right? Because I didn't want to apply foundation, I didn't want to apply any concealer. I just wanted to see if I was able to manipulate the blush placement in a way that will take away the fact that I didn't have any foundation on, that it would soften the look of my blemishes, which I have plenty here on the cheeks and along the jawline. And boy, did it. It's a distraction tactic. So what I did, and not apply any, again, foundation or concealer, I just place the bronzer here through the hollows and whip the blush higher, not here lower on the apples of my cheeks, but I purposely brought it in close to my lower lash line and blended it in towards my eyes, almost like I had that sickly look, and that's what I wanted to achieve on purpose. And I think it worked. I liked how it looked, and I think it's fantastic too if you didn't want to wear foundation or even a tinted moisturizer, because 100% I could have went in with Lisa's Seamless Skin Tint for sure, but I just wanted to see what the Hourglass powders can do on their own. And that's when I realized, when I had mentioned in the Dragon palette, which is suitable or curated for the lighter skin tones, that I wish they didn't house 2 of the ambient powders. But when someone has said, I actually like that because I can use one ambient powder for under the eyes and can use another for all over the face. And then I said, oh, it would have been nice if I had an ambient powder to wear all over my face instead of a foundation, because the Hourglass powders are formulated to blur and soften the look of imperfections on the skin without looking heavy and without looking powdery on the skin. And that's when I was like, okay, if I didn't want to go with foundation, sure, it would have been nice to just have buffed in one of the ambient powders, although I could have used soft light all over the face. It is light, and I think more appropriate for under eye placement, but could have maybe softened the look of unevenness of my discoloration here. But the powders themselves, because they are soft and blurring on the skin, even if you place this just on your bare skin like I did, it has a beautiful effect, just like that flushed effect. And of course the Lotus palette, my goodness, this red blush and this bronzer, there's still a lot of work to do, but this is the deepest bronzer that Hourglass has ever released, and I am anticipating that they will continue their endeavors in producing deeper shades, not only in the bronzer category, but the blush one as well. But man, this is one toasty palette, and again, didn't need all 3. I have plenty of Hourglass palettes. This was more so to help you arrive at a suitable shopping decision for yourself, because I know the position I'm in. I don't want to buy everything, and I do want to control my spending a little bit, but I also choose where I pour in a little more depending on the brand and depending on how much engagement I potentially can receive from reviewing certain brands, and that being Hourglass, and I'm thrilled with these products 100%. So I probably will not be buying, well, with the exception of that Dior face palette, which, you know what, I'll talk about it now, okay? If you would like to see a full-on review of the Backstage Holiday Celestial Glow limited edition face palette, you could check that out on this link here or down below. This was not a favorite. It was not a favorite. I won't call it a fail, because sure, maybe it is a fail. It is a fail in context when you know how well Dior's Glow Backstage palettes perform, okay? And I had featured several of them in my favorite Dior video that I posted maybe 2 months ago. I spoke on how I adore the Glow Face palettes, okay? This, compared to their previously released ones, did not show up to bat. It was a little weaker, especially this shade. I applied it here. Can you tell? Probably not. And I was like, I don't see anything. So I decided to go back into the Evil Eye palette and apply this highlighter, and that you could actually see. All right. The only standout powder in here is this one, the glitter, right? That has more of that sparkle and shine. But the other ones here are okay. The Icy Blue one, it's fine. It has more of that blue to violet opalescent effect. That's pretty. It's pretty, but not worth the $52 that I spent on this palette. So I would hold off on this. I know it's limited and you might like it and you're like, you know what, I'm going to take a chance. If you have the other Glow Face palettes, stick with those. And I would wait to see if another brand releases something better, but similar to these shades. You know what I mean? And while we're here, okay, I'll talk about the Dior, also their eye palette, which I actually used today. I used it with Danessa's Lightwork, which we'll get to in a minute, because this is the MVP for September. I like this a lot more than the Glow Face palette because I could finagle this. I can make this work, elevate it by pairing it with Danessa, with Suqqu, with Pat, with Natasha, right? Also, the portability, the fact that it's straightforward and it's cute. You know what I mean? I do love all the eye looks I created using Celestial Purple. And this also, alongside the Glow Face palette, is limited edition. You don't need it. If I had to pick between the two, I most certainly would have picked... Hold on. How can I not have her here? This is worth thinking about spending $50 on. That's still expensive, but man, and my apologies. I forgot. This is why I need to write everything down. But ooh, the berry. You can't go wrong with a berry wine blush shade that performs exceptionally on the face. Just look at that smooth application of color. And the gold, I know you want to see the gold in action. Shame on me. This is such a beautiful color. Now, it's on the warm side, but it still has beautiful highlight effect on the skin that you can see, okay? Unlike what exists in that Celestial Glow Face palette. Look how shiny my cheek is without looking chunky. It looks glassy. It has that beautiful glow from within look on the face. It does have fragrance because it's from their main line from Dior Beauty. I tolerate it. It don't mess me up too bad, but it's worth it. If you were only to get one, because the other colorways are gorgeous. You have like a soft pink, a coral, a warmer neutral pink, the bronzer contour shades, whatever you consider those. You gotta get Wildior, that my friend Chris had corrected me on. I said Wildior, but it's Wildior. Out of what I bought from Dior recently, this is the one. I still have that foundation stick on my radar because what's appealing about it, the portability, is easy to pack versus a bottle of foundation or a jar of foundation. I could just throw the stick in there and be done. Apply it on my face directly, or I could use my fingers. I could use a different brush. So that's what's keeping it on the wish list for me. I know and well aware of how strongly fragranced it is, as I have been told by several. I have to apply it in store. I think I want to visit either Saks or Bloomies and see if one of the associates can slap it on my face. But let's quickly go back to Suqqu because, again, I mentioned they had two collections and the entire winter collection. I have their Fluid Glow in, let me get the correct shade name, my apologies, or number, I would say 109. The coffee beige. This color is one of the best warm beiges I have in my collection. Beige can be fun. It could look too orange on me. It could look too light on me. Suqqu has managed to nail a warm clay beige because there is warmth in the undertone, 100%, but it doesn't look so warm that it just distorts the entire look of things. Is right there, is right where it needs to be. Exceptionally smooth, creamy on the lip, and my goodness, I paired it today with Lisa's Shape and Sculpt in one end. Oh, if you just want to ensure that the glow did not go beyond your lip line and also crank up the longevity, I would pair it with a Lisa pencil. But isn't that just it's just the most perfect shade. I know not the most perfect of perfectest shades. I do have quite a many of beige in my collection, but this is top. Okay, it's up there. Their blurring blush in this shade, some of you have said that this shade alone will put you over the edge in ordering from Selfridges. That's crazy. This muted clay or muted desaturated pink brown, don't have anything like it in my collection. This is hard to nail because it can appear muddy, but Suqqu has managed to just create a devastatingly, look at this. Oh my goodness, if you want to see this in action, you can head over to my original review video. Again, kindly sent by Suqqu Europe. Ooh-wee. That's a shade. And you'll see why when you watch it in action. And of course, their signature color quad. And I do have the jade one on my radar because, well, first of all, Amra is gorgeous. And she also is similar to my skin tone. And when I saw her apply the other blush, that came in this winter collection. It's like a lighter pink. Oh my goodness. Let me talk about the signature color quad first. My apologies. I'm going on a tangent. I decided to go with the more neutral one because I just thought this was, you can't get more sophisticated than this. We have seen these shades before, but the undertones specifically for this gray shade is just perfect. It's not too frosty or icy. It's like a silvery charcoal, but for some reason pairs well with the brown and the plum, and of course this overlay shade that you can use solo, or you can tap on any of the satins in the palette and have that more twinkle effect happen on the lids. The jade color quad that I saw in Amra is gorgeous, and something that one of my clients had said, and Amra agreed, that it's interesting to see Suqqu commit to a color story like that, because usually they'll throw in like some type of a neutral just to ground everything. No, they totally committed to the jade and the navy and whatever other two shades are in that quad. But that lighter pink blush, the reason why I didn't choose that, because you know, anytime I see sepia brown, sign me up, I'm choosing that one. When I saw the light pink or the frosty pink, I forgot how the color was described on the press release. When I saw Amra apply that blush, and it didn't look ashy on her. It looked like that cold girl look. I can't think of another word. That vibe without her cheeks appearing pink gray. Like you can still see her complexion through the color, but it imbued just like that cool frosty look on the face. Oh my goodness. I have that blush in my basket. I didn't pull the trigger yet because I had a moment, all right? I thought about Alicia. You have 3 Hourglass palettes that you can, listen, let me look here. In the Dragon palette, again, for the lighter skin tones, this kind of gives the vibe of that lighter pink blush. This is more mauve-y though. That is more pink, is a more dedicated light pink shade. We shall see. Maybe I'll catch it on sale like I did other Suqqu items that went on sale from other limited releases. That's why I'm a little anxious, because it's a limited color. And I'm like, if I wait too long and it sells out, what am I gonna do? I'll be fine. That's what's gonna happen. Just wanted to mention that because I have seen the other pieces in that collection. Also, my apologies, a note about the luster eyes that, yes, might not be a favorite eye product solo. Wonderful under the Suqqu shadows, like I did on my winter collection short that you could see either through a link or wherever, that when I applied the luster eyes first and then I applied this on top, this had a hardier look on the lid. It almost appeared like that grungy charcoal with nice color but also fantastic shine, given that the luster eyes is a liquid eyeshadow product, right? So this is gonna bump up the look for sure. You slap this on first and then whatever other shadow you want. Which now leads us to what I consider to be the MVP, not only for September Favs, but for the entire year of 2024. I'm putting it out there. This Lightwork 6 Freedom palette that one of my subscribers was kind enough to gift me. I can't just express enough my gratitude and thankfulness for her generous gift. I don't know if you noticed, but I do have this on the eyes, again alongside Celestial Purple. I thought they would play well together. But what is sensational about Lightwork 6 is the fact that not only are these sextets magnetic, but the individual pans are. So you can stack them like so, take off the mirror that you find on the lid and just take along the actual mini palette. That's wonderful. You could arrange these in any sort of way. You could take these out and put it on the main palette. You could do whatever you want. That's why it's called the Freedom palette. And these textures, if I had to pick my favorite formula out of the 9 that are in here, it has to be the Glass Sheen formula. Okay, look at this. Look how shiny that is, but it's lightweight. It doesn't enhance texture. It's forgivable, actually. Not only the Glass Sheen formula, but I think a number of these formulas are far more forgiving on a multitude of lid textures than traditionally formulated multi-chrome indie shadows are. This is what sets Lightwork 6 apart from other shadows within the same category, in my opinion. I think these are a lot easier to use. I think a lot more forgiving on several types of lids. The application is flawless, accessible, easy. Like, no matter what you dip into, it is just the emolliency is outrageous. Okay, and I wanted to point that out because someone had expressed their concern because from where they are, this palette will be insanely expensive for them to purchase because of the shipping and also the actual cost of the palette. And they had asked, listen, is this going to enhance texture? And conversing with, again, people who I know have mature lids, and that was a concern for them as well, say that Lightwork 6 is fantastic on mature lids with these finishes. That's the thing with these types of finishes, forgiving again on mature lids, in my opinion. And I think that's wonderful, right? If you stayed away from the Cleonas, from, you know, Terra Moon or the other indie brands that are beautiful, but you felt that you couldn't wear them or they were too much or whatever, Danessa came through with a Lightwork 6. Okay, and because of Lightwork 6, I decided to not purchase Luminous Legends for Mother. I might skip on that palette, and it's because I have 3 of her mega mothership palettes: Celestial Odyssey, Celestial Nirvana, Celestial something something, and I'll give it to her with that Quint formula that debuted, I think, a few years ago. Beautiful molten metallic formula, ultra shiny and glassy on the lids. That's a lot. I think Luminous Legends, the Big Mama palette, has a lot of those textures in there. I can't justify spending $70. Listen, this is $128. Okay, this is expensive, but it's also magnetic, it's customizable, has all those features. Luminous Legends, you just get what you get. It's hard for me to spend $70 on something that's okay, right? Because we know what Pat's capable of. We've seen it in her other mothership palettes, and because we haven't seen a mothership from the brand this year or since mothership 12, I don't think it's worth it. The only funny duo that I considered buying was a mini one with that black shiny shadow, because I thought, wouldn't that be nice to apply on Falcon Noir, one of her, I think, what are they called? This from the Star Wars limited release that she did 1-2 years ago. I thought that would have been a beautiful shadow to layer on Falcon Noir, but that was the only incentive for me to even consider buying anything from her holiday collection. I don't have the drive, the excitement. I have to skip it. Maybe I'll buy it on sale. Maybe I'll reconsider if I see it in action. You know, maybe if I see someone apply the shadows, if I like the looks. But again, I have 3 mega motherships that I haven't been using. So I don't know. And I have Lightwork 6. I could buy it to do a comparison. Do I really want to? No. Let me know what you think down below, okay? If you really want to see a comparison, I'll take one for the team and I'll buy Luminous Legends, and we'll try to share the video as much as possible so I can make up the cost with the potential AdSense that I can receive from that hypothetical video. Okay, but that is it. Those are all my favorites for the month of September, and I have a few favorites on the way already brewing for October, from lifestyle, clothes, nail polish, makeup. We'll see what other makeup we see in October, because this is a month that it could get crazy with the holiday releases. Okay, Black Friday specials and whatnot, Cyber Monday hoo-ha is not happening in November anymore. It starts in October, which is nuts. So I want to make some type of spreadsheet or bookmark all the links that I have my eyes on and just keep track of my wish list. So whenever a sale event happens, I don't get impulsive. I just know what I had my eye on, and if I see something discounted and I still want it, then I'll get it. Let me know what your monthly favorites have been. It doesn't have to be makeup. It could be the most random item, because that's how I roll. I love random things. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching until the end. Maybe consider liking this video, click that thumbs up. Also consider subscribing if you want to continue watching my monthly favorite videos and other videos that are covering brushes, cheek palettes, maybe some habit modification tips. You never know. With that said, I'll see you down in those comments, and I'll see you on here next time.